and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Thursday, September 12th.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites, like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies, like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee for your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces. Plus, they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
We begin with breaking news on the city's east side. One man is dead after a late-night shooting. It happened near Emerson and University Avenue just after 11 last night. Police say officers on scene found a man who had been shot. The man later died on scene. If you have any information, you're encouraged to contact IMPD. And a few miles away, another shooting. This one left 3 men and 1 young person detained by authorities. It happened just after 10 last night. IMPD says officers tried to pull over a car that officers say was a part of another investigation. That's when police say someone from the car fired shots at the patrol vehicle. No officers were hit, but a home was hit at Brookside South Drive and LaSalle Street. Police say no one inside that home was hurt. Officers were eventually able to stop the car at West Michigan and Rule Street and detain the 4 people inside. So far, police have not said whether the 4 people have been arrested. A judge has ruled that Indiana's abortion ban does not deny life-saving care. The ruling is a major blow to efforts to overturn the law. News 8's government reporter Garrett Bergquist reports.
Doctors can still perform abortions in Indiana if, in their judgment, it's necessary to prevent the mother's death or a serious health risk. There's a time limit of 20 weeks or fetal viability, whichever comes first. Planned Parenthood argued that language could cause doctors to delay medical care and put a mother's health at risk. Special Judge Kelsey Hanlon disagreed. In her ruling Wednesday morning, Hanlon noted numerous complications can occur during pregnancy. She wrote, "There are, however, very, very few conditions for which pregnancy is contraindicated. And even for those conditions, both sides' experts agree that abortion is not the only way to manage the condition or even terminate the pregnancy. Early delivery is another option." Hanlon also noted hospitals are still providing abortions in Indiana under the life and health exception. She concluded the law is not unduly vague, nor does it impose an unconstitutional burden on doctors or patients. Attorney General Todd Rokita says, "Indiana's pro-life law is both reasonable and constitutional, and we're pleased the Monroe County Circuit Court upheld it. This is another huge win for life, and no matter how many times Planned Parenthood tries to sue and push forward their culture of death, we will continue fighting for mothers, fathers, and the unborn." In a joint statement, Planned Parenthood and the ACLU of Indiana say, "Today's decision means that pregnant Hoosiers' lives will continue to be endangered by Indiana's abortion ban. We will continue to serve patients as best as possible and work towards a future where patients and their doctors can make decisions without politicians in their exam rooms." As a reminder, there's a separate lawsuit challenging the ban on religious liberty grounds. That case has not yet gone to trial. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Let's talk sports. The Fever took a bit of a dip last night. The team fell to the Las Vegas Aces 86-75. Last night, Aces center Asia Wilson broke a WNBA scoring record with her 941st point just before the first half. The Fever have yet to win against the Aces this season. Indiana has just 3 games until the playoffs start. They take on the Aces again at home on Friday. Tip-off for that game is at 7 o'clock. Staying with the Fever, star Caitlin Clark is encouraging people to vote. She was asked about endorsing Kamala Harris after the game last night. While Clark did not publicly endorse either candidate, she did encourage people to register to vote and do their research.
The biggest thing would be just encourage people to register to vote. I think for myself, it's the second time I can vote in an election. At age 22, I could vote when I was 18. So I think do that. That's the biggest thing I can do with the platform that I have. And that's the same thing Taylor did. And I think continue to educate yourself with the candidates that we have, the policies that they're supporting. I think that's the biggest thing you can do. And that's what I would recommend to every single person that has that opportunity in our country.
Clark also liked Taylor Swift's post on Instagram last night where she endorsed Kamala Harris. Early voting begins in Indiana on October 8th, and Election Day is November 5th. When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says we're in for another warm day, but Francine could bring rain ahead of the weekend. Meteorologist Tara Hastings has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
We've got beautiful conditions out there. Whether you're going to a golf outing or not, it is going to be picture perfect for the first part of the day. Sunny skies, 63 degrees right now in Carmel. Later in the afternoon, we're going to look for the cloud cover to kind of increase here as we go throughout the day, all thanks to now what's left of Francine. It was a hurricane. It made landfall yesterday in Louisiana, and it's beginning to lift a little bit farther northward. Right now, we're at 67 degrees in Indianapolis, also in Bloomington, 61 in Lafayette, and 65 right now in Muncie. We do have mostly sunny skies here across much of the state, but farther southward, a few high-level clouds moving in across parts of southern Indiana. More clouds will begin to lift northward here throughout the day. So cloudy skies expected later in the afternoon, but I do think today will be dry. Picking up some rainfall here across parts of Mississippi, Alabama, even some thunderstorms, some stronger storms across parts of the panhandle of Florida. That northern fringe of rainfall now moving in across parts of southern Tennessee. Not going to move in today here in Indiana, but we do have the chance for some rain heading your way on this Friday. Today, cloud cover increases. It's going to be a warmer afternoon with highs in the mid and upper 80s, but those humidity values stay on the low side. We'll talk about what we can expect as far as rainfall, kind of time it out all coming up in my full forecast.
To get a peek at the full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs.
Whether you're scouring business financial sites or listening to economics podcasts like this one till your ears ring, you'll find there's no surefire secret to successfully managing your company's finances for the future. It turns out you might just need to pair with PNC Corporate and Institutional Banking, whose team of dedicated relationship managers bring 160 years of experience, pragmatic advice, and an array of tools and tech to scale to any size business. In fact, they're so tuned in to what you need, they knew you'd be listening to this podcast. As for that ringing in your ears, that's the brilliant sound of success. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC and PNC Bank are registered marks of the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., PNC. Copyright 2024, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., all rights reserved.
And we wrap things up with a very inspiring story. A surgeon at IU Health has just hit a remarkable milestone. Raina Rebel reports.
This extraordinary milestone sets Dr. William Goggins apart as the surgeon with the most successful kidney transplant surgeries in Indiana and places him among the top surgeons nationwide.
Today we celebrate 3,000 kidney transplants, one surgeon.
Dr. William Goggins has averaged over 100 kidney transplants annually since starting in July of 2000. His team surprised him with a gift commemorating the date of his 3,000 surgeries.
So I'm extremely fortunate to be in the one of his 3,000 kidney transplant patients. He transplanted me in February 25th, 2010, and have had a very wonderful life since then.
Allison Friedrich overcame kidney dysplasia at the age of 15. She is now married, loves hiking, and leads a healthy life working alongside Dr. Goggins.
After transplant, I had much better energy levels and was able to get through high school, go to college, go and get my master's degree at the University of Indianapolis, and then now work in transplant and get to live my life to the fullest.
Dr. Goggins excels in cutting-edge surgical techniques and sets new standards in transplant surgery. His expertise in handling complex cases shows his capabilities in addressing a wide range of patient needs.
Many people have hypertension, diabetes that leads them to renal failure, particularly in the African American community. And we are seeing more patients that are coming forward that are being diagnosed earlier, thank goodness, and trying to be treated. But people are going into renal failure, and there's such a need for organ donation and transplant.
He performed his 3,000th transplant just this month. His patients have ranged in age from 20 months to 83 years old.
The transplant's a team sport, and you need help from everybody. And it's not something you do alone. And if you surround yourself with good people, you have excellent outcomes.
His legacy of saving lives and advancing medical science continues to inspire hope and gratitude among patients and colleagues alike. Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Raina Revel for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Thursday, September 12th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.